This is the OTB Network.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Horses and Courses. I'm Jean Wood. We've got a nice weekend's worth of stakes racing action. What survived the weather? We had storms throughout portions of the East Coast, so we did lose racing action on Saturday, both at Oaklawn and Laurel. Nonetheless, we've still got a full group of stakes races for you. We'll head down to Florida. We'll begin at Tampa Bay Downs, where on Saturday the stakes feature for filly and mare sprinters was the Manatee.
They're at the post for the Manatee. And they're off. Away and running in the 26th renewal of the Manatee, and Nix wins the break. Toward the rail, there goes Lady Alexander, shooting through now quickly and opening up the lead. Southern Yankee comes away with a top flight, and the last horse away is Perf. They move on to the main track. Lady Alexander scampers clear now to command the race by 3.5. Southern Yankee from between horses on the chase. Lady Shotzi attacks toward the rail now third. Kadari racing along fourth. Way out on the outside, Nix is now fifth. Rock Candy racing along sixth. Then it's 2.5 lengths farther back to Satan's Quick Chick. Down along the inner rail now seventh. Up on the outside, Rising Fever is eighth. Corrigus racing along ninth, and the trailer is still Perf. That's the 10 of them. 3 furlongs to run in the Manatee. Lady Alexander is trying to take them start to finish on the outside. Nix now moves up second. Lady Shotzi is down along the inner rail now third. A length and a half farther back. Way out on the outside. Corrigus is now on the move, and Rising Fever will fan 5 wide for the drive. It's absolutely wide open in the Manatee. Lady Alexander, she has 240 yards to go, and she's still clear. Way out on the outside, here comes Corrigus with Rising Fever down to the wire. Lady Alexander and Ricardo Feliciano still there, and they'll pull the upset at 6-1, making every poll a winning one. Satan's Quick Chick runs on to be second, and Corrigus flattens out to be third. 1:23 4, 1/5 off the stakes record time.
Lady Alexander, a nice effort to score on the front end by 1 3/4 over Satan's Quick Chick, who rallied from well back in the pack to finish second. Corrigus rounds out the top 3 with a rallying move as well. The winner, Lady Alexander, was second 2 races back in the Garland of Roses here on the Aqueduct Inner, then ran 6th in the Minaret behind Perf and Nix, both of whom ran back in this race and both of whom ran rather poorly. The winner, Lady Alexander, is a chestnut filly, a daughter of Exchange Rate from Lady Ironwood by Housebuster. Bred in Florida by Millard Winterowd and owned by Rosemarie Kesselring. Trained by Bruce Alexander and ridden to victory by Ricardo Feliciano. Lady Alexander covers the 7 and 123.80. We'll head back to Saturday now and take a trip to the fairgrounds, where unfortunately the stakes feature this weekend was washed off the turf. Let's take a look now at the off-the-turf running of the Marie Krantz Memorial.
They're off. Racing in the Marie G. Krantz Memorial. More the Best and Bubbler, the two heading out for the lead from Team Block's Never Retreat, partnered with Sweet Southern Doll, and the Pinnock Stable mare, No Use Denying. Last of a quintet as they enter the first turn, where Cisco Torres has taken the point with More of the Best. More of the Best leads by 2.5 lengths from Bubbler, who's tracking well for Eddie Martin Jr., that main track only Bubbler. Running second by 3/4 of a length. The Sweet Southern Doll, Never Retreat, is right at Bubbler's heels, and No Use Denying settled back in 5th. The first quarter for More of the Best, 24 1/5 seconds. Down the backstretch, More of the Best, a solo act with 5 furlongs to go in the Marie G. Krantz Memorial. More of the Best in front of Bubbler, who's waiting on the wings, with Never Retreat third for James Graham, then Sweet Southern Doll and No Use Denying trails. 6 lengths from leader to last, and More of the Best takes them past the half-mile pole in 48 2. They go toward the far turn. More of the Best with Bubbler close in tow as they round the far turn. Never Retreat still right there. Never Retreat closing third with under 3 furlongs to go. No Use Denying and Sweet Southern Doll past the 5/16 point. Bubbler has taken the lead. Never Retreat looms. No Use Denying comes on the outside. More of the Best drop back once headed, and Sweet Southern Doll into the stretch. Bubbler, shoulder to shoulder with Never Retreat. No Use Denying has come to third. More the Best and Sweet Southern Doll outpaced final furlong. Never Retreat battles Bubbler. Bubbler and Never Retreat for a final 16th. It's Bubbler just in front. Never Retreat battling hard for every yard. Bubbler and Never Retreat in a battle that's come down to a bob. Close call. Never Retreat and Bubbler, the eye of a needle between Never Retreat and Bubbler.
Bubbler scores the victory to remain unbeaten on dirt. She's 4 for 5 lifetime, with her only loss having come last out in the Furl Sale on grass right here at the fairgrounds. She was the main track only entrant in the field, showed good speed, fought hard through the lane to score by a game nose over the favored Never Retreat, with No Use Denying rounding out the top 3. The winner, Bubbler, is a dark Bear Brown filly, a 4-year-old daughter of Distorted Humor from Greshel by Deputy Minister. Bred in Kentucky by Doozy Stable and owned by the Doozy Stable, trained by Brett Calhoun and ridden to victory by Eddie Martin Jr., Bubbler covers the mile in a 16th and 145.06. We'll head to Turfway Park next and the running of the WEBN Stakes for 3-year-olds at a mile.
They're at the post. And they're off. Rockin' Rockstar had a horrible start, was off awkwardly in his last. For the lead, it's Kira's Kitten quickly from between horses. Moving through from the inside, Fish. Then up from the outside, Big Bruin. Followed between horses by Just a Matter of Time. Then Slew Zoom. Patty's Kitten and In the Paint. As they move for the back stretch, 24-1 for the quarter. And it's Kira's Kitten who just opens the lead. Has it now by 2.5. From between horses now into second, that's Big Bruin. Moving up from on the inside, Fish is third. Gaining now from the outside, Lucky Chuck. There goes Lucky Chuck, who moves into second as they continue down the backstretch, the half in 48-2. And it's Kira's Kitten with a 2-length lead over Lucky Chuck in second. Then from the inside, Slew Zoom runs a third. 2 lengths back, Patoki is fourth. Gaining from the inside, Just a Matter of Time is a fifth. Then from the outside, Mickey Joe runs a sixth. They're moving for the stretch, and it's Kira's Kitten who is in front. Now draws away. Kira's Kitten leads it by 3 lengths. Lucky Chuck second. Slew Zoom from the inside is gaining. Then it's Patoki. But nearing the wire, Kira's Kitten has the lead. Kira's Kitten has been there the entire way. Slew Zoom second. Kira's Kitten, Tommy Pompel sends him to the lead. He stays there all the way, wins by 2. Slew Zoom second. Lucky Chuck third. A photo for fourth.
Kira's Kitten with a rebounding effort, most recently in the Turfway Preview at the beginning of the year. He was beaten 21 lengths at 5-2 after stumbling very badly at the start. This is a horse that obviously likes to run fairly close to the pace and rebounds with a much improved effort at 6-1 on the front end over Slew Zoom, who made a little bit of a bid to finish second. Lucky Chuck rallies 7 wide to complete the order of the top 3. The winner, Kira's Kitten, is a dark Bear Brown son of Kitten's Joy from Mrs. K by Dixieland Band, bred in Kentucky by Ken and Sarah Ramsey and owned by the breeders, trained by Mike Maker and ridden to victory by Thomas Pompel. Kira's Kitten covers the mile in 141.21. We'll continue with stakes racing action now as we head to Sam Houston Park in a pair of stakes races on Saturday, beginning with fillies and mares in the Jersey Lily.
In the Jersey Lily Stakes. All came away to a good start in Ruling Class. Broke smartly middle of the pack, but on the outside, hustled up to the lead. Now it's Tiz Alki to grab the early lead. Tiz Alki runs clear of the field by 2 with 1 lap to go on the grass oval in the Jersey Lily. Icy Kitten is just behind. Plan 9 racing a tight third by a length and a half. Ruling Class is next. Love to Tell, ground saving trip at the inside by a length and a half. Then back of that, Shine Softly a length and a half to Final Refrain, then 3 to Queen Labella at the rail by 2. Racing next is Pleasantly Blessed to Cherry Pink, the outside fourth last, as She a Demon follows that one. 2 to Slick Kitty, and Little Axe Leolita trails in the Jersey Lily as they race on for the far turn. Out front, it's Tiz Alki who has set the tone, and the leader by a length. Icy Kitten closing in the outside. Plan 9 is right there as they take it on for the far turn. Love to Tell just back of the leaders. Ruling Class is closing in from the outside. Final Refrain still 6 away. Along the outside, Pleasantly Blessed. Midway around the turn, Shine Softly in the mix now. Tiz Alki clings to a narrow lead as they run to the top of the stretch. It's wide open in the Jersey Lily. Tiz Alki at the inside. Icy Kitten is there. Love to Tell is coming on. Ruling Class the outside. Pleasantly Blessed is full of run late. Final Refrain the outside. But out front, it's Love to Tell bounding away. And Love to Tell has blossomed nicely in the Jersey Lily. Clear by 3 at the end.
Love to Tell scores the victory under Shane Sellers. Been a while since we've seen Shane on the HNC recap, but a nice effort here to score from off the pace in a stalking position, going away by 2 3/4 over the favored Pleasantly Blessed, with 5-2 second choice in the wagering. Final Refrain rallying from well back, having a little bit of traffic trouble, and settling for third. The winner, Love to Tell, off a disappointing performance when up the track in the Furl Sale, rebounds nicely. She is a chestnut mare, a daughter of Stage Colony from Kentucky Whisper by Southern Halo. Bred in Kentucky by Edmund A. Hudon and Sharon Hudon, owned by Lucas Downs Limited and trained by Jay Caldwell, ridden to victory by Shane Sellers. Love to Tell covers the mile in a 16th in 144.91. Next up, 4-year-olds and up in the $200,000 Grade 3 John B. Connolly.
And runners away in the John B. Conley Turf Cup. Extreme outside. Real Appeal broke smartly, and entry mate 15 Love is right there with Orientate Express from between horses coming on early as they headed out of the infield chute onto the main course at the inside. Acting Zippy is there with a short lead. On the outside, Orientate Express second early on, then 15 Love follows that. Baltimore Bob racing at the inside, Spena4. Back to Real Appeal racing next from the outside. At the rail is Gran Estreno 7 off the early lead, followed next by A Blaze with Spirit. Then Pool Play is next to the outside of that. Length and a half more back to Gretzky from fourth last. Still 4 more back to Going Ballistic. Along the inside, My Happiness is lingering in the tail of the field. And Red Rock Creek, they straighten up for the backstretch run in the John B. Conley. And out front, Acting Zippy sets the tone and leads it by a length. Orientate Express on the outside is right there to measure the leader. Baltimore Bob is in tight just back of the lead pair as they take it to the far turn. Up to the outside, 15 Love. They have 3/8 of a mile to go. Acting Zippy let out a notch and goes on to lead it from between horses. Orientate Express is right there. And 15 Love, the long shot, is right there in the mix. Baltimore Bob looks for an opening off the turn and homeward bound in the John B. Conley. Acting Zippy tries to take him the distance. Orientate Express is coming on now. Orientate Express on the outside. Acting Zippy is reaching in for all he's got. Orientate Express the outside. These two to the line. Acting Zippy has won the John B. Conley.
Acting Zippy gets the victory. A nice effort by this guy on the front end, who had also won his money allowance prep here locally in an off the turfer. He's now 10 for 31 lifetime. Real solid horse. This was a Florida bred, so they actually had Sunshine Millions as an option, but this looked like a good spot in retrospect as he scores very nicely, taking down the lion's share of a $200,000 purse. He scores over Orientate Express and Baltimore Bob back in the third spot, as those three were always forwardly placed throughout. The winner acting Zippy is a chestnut gelding, a son of City Zip from Storm Act by Future Storm. Bred in Florida by Carl Bowling and Ellen Thompson, owned by William Bennett, Don and Carl Bowling, and trained by William Bennett. Ridden to victory by Robbie Alvarado, acting Zippy covers the 9 and won 52.31. We'll pause for a brief message, and when we return, we'll have a lot of great Sunshine Millions racing action. Please stay with us. Welcome back to Horses and Courses. We'll continue now with Sunshine Millions action from Gulfstream Park. We'll start things out with the Sunshine Millions Sprint for older horses going 6 furlongs.
Rockefeller going in. They're all in line. They're racing in the Sunshine Millions Sprint. Sneaking up on you, bobbled a bit coming out of there. Pashito the Che out for the lead. A Credit right up with the pacemaker. Then comes Drift King into the outside. This one's for Phil. It's just outside of Horses and 2 lengths from the front. It's another 2 back to Machismo, and Rockefeller is the trailer as they race past the half-mile pole. First quarter in 21 and 2. And it's Pashito the Che and A Barcoa, the leader by a neck. This one's for Phil and John Velasquez alongside. The 2 favorites, 1-2 with 3 furlongs to go. Drift King is 3.5 lengths behind them and hard ridden. Then sneaking up on you, dropping back a bit at the rail. A Credit is next, and then comes Machismo and Rockefeller. And Pashito the Che and this one's for Phil are together at the top of the stretch through a 43.5 mile, and it is a match race at the 8th pole. They're both all out. Pashito the Che at the rail. This one's for Phil on the outside. Noses apart. Nothing separates them. This one's for Phil. Pashito the Che bobbing heads all the way to the wire. Oh, it's way too close to call. Drift King was 3rd, and A Credit was 4th.
For Phil, getting the nose victory in a tremendous stretch run here between this winner and Pashito the Che, who has turned out in his most recent efforts to be a pretty nice horse in his own right. Drift King was 10.5 lengths back as these two were effectively in a match race on the way home. This one's for Phil. You may remember from last year when he won the Sunshine Millions Dash with 115 Beyer speed figure. Really became a bit of a talking horse. He just missed in the swale and ended up getting the victory on the DQ that day over Big Drama. Tailed off in a couple of subsequent performances, came back to the races at Laurel in late November, ran well to win an allowance company, and now back to Gulfstream, where the home of a couple of his biggest victories, and scores yet again. Pashito the Che, another nice effort to finish in the 2nd spot. This one's for Phil, is a chestnut gelding, a son of Untuttable from Heaven's Gate by Septième Ciel. Bred in Florida by Gilbert G. Campbell, owned by Paul Pompa, Jack Mandato, and Michael Dubb, trained by Richard Dutrow Jr. and ridden to victory by John Velasquez. This one's for Phil, covers the 6 in 108.81. Next up, fillies and mares in the Sunshine Millions Distaff.
Racing in the Sunshine Millions Distaff. And it's Amazing and Sweet Repent out to the front together, and Jessica's back is right up there too. These three lined up into the turn, and right to the inside is Christmas Ship, who did not get through at the rail and had to steady. Then Granted Tiger moving up alongside, Scholara next by 2, then Cat Can Do, followed by Even Road on the inside, and the trailer is Unforgotten. They make their way to the backstretch. And it's Jessica is back and Amazing through a quarter at 23 and 2. These two kick on from Sweet Repent, who's 2.5 lengths off of them. On the rail, it's Christmas Ship in 4th now. After that comes Granted Tiger 5th, 5 lengths off the lead. Scholara next. Cat Can Do at the rail. Unforgotten second last. Even Road trails as Jessica is back, continues to lead the way through a half mile in 46 and 4. And now there's running room for Amazing, who slips on through on the inside, and she's only a neck behind, going past the half-mile pole. And Sweet Repent is a length and a half off of them. Then Christmas Ship on the inside. Granted Tiger is 5th, Scholara 6th. She's got 5 lengths to make up. It's 3 lengths more to Unforgotten. Then Cat Can Do and Even Road around the far turn. Amazing. Jessica is back, noses apart. Sweet Repent's under a ride. She's 2 lengths off them, but she's being ridden along now. Then it's Scholara to the outside. 3/4 in 1:10 and 4. They're into the stretch. Jessica is back, turns for home with a neck in front. Amazing fights on. Sweet Repent with all her heart. Here she comes. Sweet Repent on the outside. Goes right by Jessica's back and goes right by Amazing. And Sweet Repent's gonna do it again. 5 in a row as she takes the Sunshine Millions Distaff by 4. Jessica is back with 2nd. Even Road got up for 3rd, and Amazing was 4th.
Sweet Repent, this is really turning out to be a very nice 4-year-old filly. She's now won 5 in a row, and I think it's fair to say that this crop of 4-year-old fillies, of course led by Rachel Alexandra with Careless Jewel just behind, it really is a nice group of fillies. Now Sweet Repent also starting to really wake up and show quite a bit of quality. Now again, her last couple of races have been, not in Grade 1 company, and this was restricted company, but a very nice effort by this filly, stalking the pace, drawing clear by 3 3/4 over Jessica is Back and Even Road. There were a group of very nice and proven graded stakes type fillies in this field, and Sweet Repent in her prior 2 tries, winning the Elmer Hubeck in Florida Bred Company and the Open Stage Door Betty, both times earning Beyer speed figures over 100. Sweet Repent is a dark bay or brown filly, a daughter of Repent from Sweet Babe by Formal Dinner. Bred in Florida by Nikki Schick and Roger Schick, owned by Buongiorno a Tutti stable. Trained by David Brady and ridden to victory by Manuel Cruz, Sweet Repent covers the 9 in 147.26. Next up, right back to Florida and the Sunshine Millions Turf.
Racing on the Sunshine Millions Turf and off to an even start. Tyrod broke out on top. There goes Jet Propulsion to the outside, though. And Jet Propulsion easily makes the lead and clears by 2 lengths early. Tyrod 2nd, Roman Tiger is 3rd, Pick a Pocket 4th to the outside. And Fearless Eagle in between horses, Bad Action along the rail. Piku and Ball One No Strikes are together, 5.5 lengths off the lead. And Soldier's Dancer will do his running later. He sits last early on with 7 lengths to make up. Jet Propulsion ran a 24 in 1 opening quarter and is by himself in the race to the backstretch. Roman Tiger is 2nd, Pick a Pocket 3rd to the outside. Then Fearless Eagle in between horses, Tyrod at the rail. Ball One No Strikes is dropped back about 9 lengths from this front runner. After that, Bad Action. Soldier's Dancer is past Piku in the back. The half was 48 and 1, and it's set by Jet Propulsion, who continues to race isolated on the backstretch run. He's got a 5-length lead on Roman Tiger. Then it's Tyrod to the inside, Pick a Pocket, Fearless Eagle, and Ball One No Strikes. Soldier's Dancer is now moving. Soldier's Dancer starting to pick it up. He's 9 lengths off the lead, but he's gaining ground on the far turn. Jet Propulsion still with a 5-length lead. Roman Tiger's under a ride. So is Pick a Pocket. Tyrod's got to pick it up. Soldier's Dancer now needs to do better. And on the far outside, it's Piku, and they're into the stretch. Jet Propulsion to catch. He's got a 5-length lead at the 8th pole. And stablemate Pick a Pocket trying to cut into it late. Pico is now third. Jet Propulsion by 3. Pick a Pocket coming but running out of time. Jet Propulsion and Julian Leperoux win the turf. Pick a Pocket second, Wolfson 1-2, then a photo, Pico or Soldier's Dancer.
Jet Propulsion, I have to say this is one of my favorite horses in training. Now at the age of 7, obviously still doing very, very well in major company as he goes to the front and never looks back, kicking clear by 2 after setting what I thought were fairly legitimate fractions. Now, despite the fact that with that, on that turf course down there, the fractions a little bit tricky to tell, but he came home fairly strong as well, and he scores over Pick a Pocket, his stablemate in the Wolfson barn, with Pico rallying to third. The winner, Jet Propulsion, is now 13 for 45 lifetime, having won his last 3. He moves his income up by a factor of $165,000 with this victory. Jet Propulsion, a gelded son of Double Honor from Her Jet by North Jet, bred in Florida by Farnsworth Farm and owned by the breeder, trained by Marty Wolfson, and ridden to victory by Julian Leperoux. Jet Propulsion covers the 9 on the turf in 145.96. We'll head back to Gulfstream Park for one more race, that on Sunday afternoon, not part of the Sunshine Millions. It's 3-year-old fillies in the Grade 2 Forward Gal.
They're racing in the Forward Gal. Bickerson's came out sharply, so did She Be Wild and Richie Girl Gone Wild, who now shoots through on the inside to grab the lead. She Be Wild's going to be rated off the pace, even though she did have a good start. Then comes C. Senora, Romantic Hideaway. Joni's Catch going up between horses. Down on the inside is Cascading. Liam's Dream is next by 2.5, and then Ayla, followed by Creole Benita and Sister Resistor in the back. A 22 and 3 opening quarter. It is Richie Girl Gone Wild in front by a neck. Bickerson's alongside second. Romantic Hideaway third just outside of them. C. Senora rides the rail in fourth, 2.5 lengths off the lead. Then She Be Wild moving up alongside of her. Joni's Catch is in between horses. Liam's Dream down on the inside, and it's a gap of another 4 to Sister Resistor. Ayla next along the rail as they make their way toward the quarter pole. The half went in 45-1, and Bickerson's has shaken away up front. Bickerson's turning for home with a 5-length lead. It's Bickerson's to catch. Romantic Hideaway is next. Then She Be Wild. Joni's Catch is after that. But look at Bickerson's. Bickerson's and Joe Bravo in a race of their own. Bickerson's with an absolutely spectacular performance in the Forward Gal. She won it by 7. Joni's Catch was second. Then came Sister Resistor, Romantic Hideaway, and She Be Wild.
In a race that looked like it was going to be the setup race for the likes of She Be Wild, last year's champ, on the return, as well as Richie Girl Gone Wild and a couple of horses like Cascading that looked like later developing fillies. It was Bickerson's who showed her usual good early speed and simply ran away and hid by 7 lengths under Joe Bravo. You may remember her last year. She won the Moccasin out at Santa Anita going 7. They passed on the Breeders' Cup, ran 5th in the Hollywood Starlet, now back to 7 furlongs and then into 1 turn, and obviously it suited her very nicely. A filly who has always shown good speed, has a tendency to be almost a little bit too sharp sometimes on the lead, but Joe Bravo seemed to get her to relax in nicely, and she kicks clear to score over Joni's Catch at 51-1. Another long shot, Liam's Dream, rounds out the top 3. The disappointment in the field, She Be Wild, coming in out of her Breeders' Cup victory last November. Disappointed here. She was 3 wide in the early going and tired to finish up the track, finishing 5th in the field of 11. The winner, Bickerson's, a dark bay or brown daughter of Silver Deputy from Dance Hall Floozy by Paramount Jet, was bred in Ontario by Robert G. Harvey and is owned by George and Laurie Hall. Trained by Kelly Breen and ridden to victory by Joe Bravo, Bickerson's covers the 7 in 122.35. We'll pause for one more brief message, and when we return, we'll be heading out to the West Coast for more Sunshine Millions stakes racing action. Please stay with us. Welcome back to Horses and Courses. We'll continue now at Santa Anita, where on Saturday they ran a trio of Sunshine Millions races, beginning with the Sunshine Millions Filly and Mare Sprint.
Away they go to a perfect start. On the far side, we have High Resolve going for the early lead. Magdalena's Chase from the outside gate is right there as well. Down at the rail, we have Miss McCall, the grey, showing early speed and right with us leading group. Up alongside of those two now, we have Libor Lady. Then we drop back to Dotsy Jean, who's starting to make some headway down at the rail. Only 3 off the leaders. Then Via Veneto. Just in behind that comes Dubai Majesty, pushed along 5 off the leaders. Then it's Sleep Tight. We drop back to Fearless Leader. You Are All That I Am is a good 8 lengths off these leaders. And at the back here is Rate of Exchange and Emmy Darling. They're approaching the quarter pole now, and it's still the grey. Miss McCall along the inside, slightly in front. Dotsy Jean is now coming to tackle on the outside. Libor Lady's in there as well. Here's Kissy Sana in the orange, making it 4 in a line. Then Via Venato right behind them and Sleep Tight. They come for home now. Miss McCall on the inside. Kissy Sana. Dotsy Jean is going on with it as well. And Dubai Majesty joining the fray late. Here's Dubai Majesty, Kissy Sana, Dotsy Jean. 3 of them going to hit it together in a desperate finish. Kissy Sana going it. Kissy Sana ahead. Dubai Majesty. Then Dotsy Jean, and close for 4th, Miss McCall, and a flat finishing Emmy Darling.
Quiziana picking up the victory. And a nice price on this filly as she scores by a nose over Dubai Majesty, who rallied well. Dotsy Jean makes up a little bit of ground on the turn, perhaps a little bit of a premature move while wide, and settles for 3rd. The winner, Quiziana, is now 5 for 10 lifetime, coming in out of an optional claiming victory over Sleep Tight last time out. Sleep Tight ran up the track at 23-1. Quiziana ends up scoring at 6.5-1. Quiziana is a dark bay or brown mare, a daughter of Dekarki from Mink Kiss by Distinctive Cat, bred in California by Todd Gerbovaz and owned by Ranjan Racing, trained by Mike Pipey and ridden to victory by Rafael Bejarano. Quiziana covers the 6 in 108.47. Next up, we'll head right back to California. Sunshine Millions Filly and Mare Turf.
Goes in. All set. Away they go. All came out well. From the outside, Century Park, and now there goes Bootleg Annie up on the inside of that. One from the rail is Tight Precision, and Close Out taking back off the leader's heels, dropping back to be 5th now. Just being passed here by Pretty Unusual in the red cap. Then we come back to You Lift Me Up, who's followed by Saucy Evening, 5 lengths off the leaders, and Cats a Lot is the early trailer. Into the turn they go, and Bootleg Annie's taken a strong hold, pulls away at the front now to lead it by just over a length. Tight Precision is right there. Century Park is forced a little wide into the turn. Meanwhile, Pretty Unusual hugs the rail in a good spot now, takes that 3rd spot, only 2.5 off the leader. Not in any hurry out there. Then we come back to You Lift Me Up. Close Out is down at the rail. Saucy Evening, 2nd last, has 5 lengths to make up and 2 more to Cats a Lot. All riders happy with their situation. No change in the orders. They go down the backstretch. Bootleg Annie still trying to be rated on the lead here. Getting a little bit of pressure now, though, from Tight Precision. Just in behind that comes Pretty Unusual, still tucked in at the rail in 3rd. Century Park's alongside of that. Then we come back to You Lift Me Up and Close Out. Only 3 lengths would cover all these runners. Saucy Evening, 2nd last, and still the trailer Cats a Lot. They come to the top of the lane now, and it's Bootleg Annie headed her own way the whole way so far and kicks on for home now. Here comes Pretty Unusual in the red cap to tackle now. Pretty Unusual looms the danger. Tight Precision is in with a shot too. Close Out is running on from 4th. They come for home now, and here's Pretty Unusual in the red cap to take the lead. Pretty Unusual coming with a late runner's Tight Precision. Close Out trying to get involved late too. Now Tight Precision gets the lead. Bootleg Annie comes back on the inside, and Pretty Unusual, but Tight Precision will win it. And Tight Precision pulls clear to win just over a length in the end. Very close for 2nd. Bootleg Annie and Pretty Unusual. Close Out was 4th.
Tight Precision picks up the victory, and she is now she's won 3 in a row. A couple of dirt races, now moves right on to the turf and handles it very nicely. She won in non-winners of 2 and non-winners of 3 last 2 races, and now she's 2 for 4 on the synthetic. She's 2 for 4 on the synthetic as well, but she obviously is a mare that can handle just about anything, as she's picked up a nice win now on turf as well, going away by a length and a quarter over Bootleg Annie. Pretty unusual. Well, I thought ran a fairly nice race. She had, I wouldn't say traffic trouble, but she was forced to run between horses almost every step of the way, and went on fairly well throughout the stretch. She completes the order of the top 3. Tight Precision is a dark bay or brown daughter of Pure Precision from Come Tight by Artistry, bred in Florida by Charles Patton and owned by E.J. Sukley. Trained by Tom Proctor and ridden to victory by Joel Rosario. Tight Precision covers the 9 furlongs in 147.27. Next up, the Sunshine Millions Classic for older horses at 9 furlongs.
Wheels sent on their way in the Sunshine Millions Classic. They all broke beautifully. In the center, we have the usual QT on the outside, Acclamation and Wicked Style going up alongside of them. Now there goes Enriched at the rail to take over. Unusual Smokers right there. The pace solid early on as 4 of them line up into the turn. Then it's Bold Chieftain and Geronimo. In behind that is Unusual Suspect, and Palladio is at the back. They run past the 7/8 pole now, and it's Enriched setting the pace on the inside. Right up alongside the usual QT's taking a pretty strong hold. He's keen to go on. Acclamation on the far side. Those 3 keeping the pressure on one another, and the pace is solid. Then we come back to Wicked Style, who's got the perfect spot in 4th. It's another 3 lengths further back to Unusual Smoke, Bold Chieftain between horses, and Geronimo down at the rail. Palladio is back second last, giving them 7 length start, and then another 4 back to Unusual Suspect. They run past the half-mile pole in the Classic now, and it's Enriched still in front, 3 parts of a length. The usual QT has been pressuring him throughout, and Acclamation a length back in 3rd. Down at the rail, Wicked Style, only 3 lengths off the leaders. Then it's Unusual Smoke, Bold Chieftain. Geronimo at the rail has 6 to make up. Palladio still second last, and Unusual Suspect, the trailer, 10 off the leader. They have a quarter of a mile left to go now, and it's still Enriched holding on to this lead. The usual QT right up alongside. Acclamation is there. On the extreme outside, Unusual Smoke caught wide, but running on as well. Looking for room now is Wicked Style in the white cap. They come for home wide open. Palladio getting a late run too. The usual QT did not go on today. Acclamation is in there. Palladio grandstand side. Bold Chieftain coming late, and Unusual Smoke a desperate finish. Now it's Bold Chieftain getting the lead. Palladio, Bold Chieftain won it. Palladio was second, Unusual Smoke 3rd, and Geronimo came running on for 4th.
Bold Chieftain, yet another nice performance by this guy who was 4th last time out in Grade 2 company in the San Pasquale behind Necco Bay. He had won 3 races prior to that, including the Cal Cup Classic. So obviously here in Cal-bred and Florida-bred company, against somewhat similar rivals, he scores by a neck, was allowed to go off at 5-1 as he scores over the late-moving Palladio. And I'm wondering if Mike Smith wasn't, and Palladio himself weren't completely aware that Bold Chieftain was making that move between horses towards the inside, while he was coming very wide on the outside. Unusual Smoke between horses at 50-1 rounds out the top 3. Disappointing in this field, the usual QT, who had won a series of races, including a couple of Grade 1s on the turf. They decided to try him in here. It was a big purse, $500,000, made it well worth it, but he tugged, between horses and was in contention to the top of the stretch and just absolutely flattened out late to finish last in the field of 9. I think he's simply a better horse on the turf than he is on the synthetic surface, and I wouldn't be at all surprised, as long as he comes out of this race well, to see him right back on the grass. The winner, Bold Chieftain, is a dark bay or brown son of Chief Seattle from Hooked on Music by Seattle Dancer. Bred in California by Ernest Langbine, William Morey, Kenneth Robinson, and Dwayne Hall, owned by the breeders and trained by William Morey Jr. Ridden to victory by Russell Bays, Bold Chieftain covers the 9 in 148.33. We'll head back to Santa Anita for one further stake. That Sunday's stakes feature the Grade 1 Santa Monica for fillies and mares.
Okay, man. Wait.
Goes in. Gate closed. They're all set now for the Grade 1 Santa Monica. And away they go. All appear to come out well. Checkers got a smart beginning, and Checkers set straight off for the lead. Gabby's Golden Gal on the far side. Here's Free Flying Soul coming through in the white cap. Proviso's right there, fourth. Made for Magic's in the fifth spot. Then it's Sweet August Moon, 5 lengths off these leaders. Captain's Lover has the red cap. Alongside of that comes Gilded Gem. On the inside we have Diamond Drello, 6 lengths off the leaders. Up alongside is Cherry Blossom Miss, and last of all is Avita Argentina, 11 off the leader. They run past the half-mile pole, and Free Flying Soul kicks through on the inside of Checkers. Those to the 2 leaders. Gabby's Golden Gal is on the outside of Proviso, joined third. Captain's Lover sent along at the rail. Made for Magic right there. Then it's Sweet August Moon, 6 lengths off the leader. In behind that comes Cherry Blossom Miss. Gilded Gem is on the far side. Down at the rail is Diamond Drella. They're taking closer order, and Avita Argentina winding up from last. And here comes Avita Argentina. She's got those ears pinned back. She's determined on running. Got some ground to make up, but running on in the center. They come for home. Checkers. Free Flying Soul along the inside. Gabby's Golden Gal goes on with it. Suddenly Avita Argentina flattens out, does not go on, and it's Gabby's Golden Gal in front. Here's Proviso with a late run on the outside, but Gabby's Golden Gal has won to Santa Monica to Proviso. Free Flying Soul and Checkers held fourth.
Gabby's Golden Gal scores the victory. She had picked up a Grade 1 last year in the Acorn at Belmont Park, and after having been blown away by Rachel Alexandra and the Kentucky Oaks, they basically decided to steer a path away from her, which made quite a bit of sense, and as such, she has had a reasonably successful career, running her record now to 4 for 9 lifetime. She is now a 2-time Grade 1 winner. Last out was 7th in the 7 furlong. La Brea comes right back against older fillies and mares, and perhaps a tougher field, and scores at the 7 furlongs here at Santa Anita. Gabby's Golden Gal scores over Proviso, who was coming in off a 4th place finish in the Breeders' Cup Distaff, as well as Free Flying Soul, the early pacemaker, who fought on gamely through the stretch, running well to finish 3rd. The winner, Gabby's Golden Gal, is a dark bay or brown daughter of Medaglia d'Oro from Gabrielina Gioff by Ashkelani. Bred in Kentucky by Arnold Zetcher Limited and owned by the breeder, trained by Bob Baffert, and ridden to victory by Martine Garcia. Gabby's Golden Gal covers the 7 at 121.25. We'll head back home to New York for a pair of stakes races, beginning with Saturday's correction for older fillies and mares sprinting.
And they're off. Number 2, Heaven's Voice, stumbled at the start and has spotted the field 5 lengths. Hold That Prospect is in front. Hold That Prospect with a 2-length lead over What Time It Is. Bright Hello on the outside in 3rd, then Fascinating Rhythm in 6 lengths to Heaven's Voice, who trails the field in 5th. Hold That Prospect holding the lead here by a little more than a length over What Time It Is, the quarter one in 23 and 2/5 seconds. Hold That Prospect by 2. What Time It Is giving chase in 2nd. Long shot Bright Halo being passed now by Fascinating Rhythm. And farther back is Heaven's Voice, who continues to trail in 5th. They come for the top of the stretch. Hold That Prospect has built a 4-length lead over What Time It Is. Hold That Prospect ran a half in 46 and 3/5 seconds. Hold That Prospect in control here with a furlong out. It's Hold That Prospect by 6 lengths. What Time It Is will try to hold 2nd. Heaven's Voice has moved into 3rd. Hold That Prospect, much the best, and it's going to be a 3-way photo for 2nd among Fascinating Rhythm, Heaven's Voice, and What Time It Is.
Hold That Prospect. She's 12 for 26 lifetime. She was 5th last out in the Garland of Roses. Speed is her specialty. Sometimes she gets caught. When she doesn't, she often runs away and hides, as she did here. 7 1/4 lengths over Heaven's Voice with Fascinating Rhythm, rounding out the top 3. Hold That Prospect is a dark gray or brown daughter of Hold That Tiger from Prospector, run by Tactical Advantage. Bred in Florida by Majestic Farm Limited, and owned by Funky Monkey Stable, trained by Gary Gullo and ridden to victory by Jorge Chavez. Hold That Prospect covers the 6 111.23. From sprinting fillies and mares to extended routes on Sunday afternoon at Aqueduct, they ran the Coyote Lakes at 1 mile and 5 furlongs.
And they're off. Nightlight out for the lead. Precursor came away in second with Tiger's Rock on the outside in third. Giant Chieftain is fourth in the early going. Then comes Jade's Revenge, and it's 4 lengths back to Borrowing Base, who will be the trailer in sixth as the field moves around the far turn for the first time. And it's Nightlight leading by a half length over Precursor, who's putting up some pressure there to Nightlight. The opening quarter went in 24-1. Precursor on the outside and Nightlight on the inside. The two of them are right together. And Tiger's Rock is just in behind in third, with Jade's Revenge alongside in fourth. Then Giant Chieftain, and 6 lengths back to Borrowing Base. Nightlight with the lead over Precursor. Nightlight in front after a half in 48 3/5 seconds. Nightlight by a neck. Precursor on the outside in second. Tiger's Rock is third, just 2 lengths from the lead. On the outside is Jade's Revenge, then Giant Chieftain and Borrowing Base. And now they're moving into the clubhouse turn in this 1 5/8 Coyote Lakes Overnight Stakes. Nightlight on top here by a length. Precursor remains in second, and Tiger's Rock is still in third. Jade's Revenge alongside, then Giant Chieftain and Borrowing Base. Positions are unchanged. 3/4 went in 1:14 3. Nightlight has been in front the entire way, still there by a length over Precursor, who continues to chase in second. Tiger's Rock and Jade's Revenge are right together, third and fourth, with Giant Chieftain fifth, about 4 lengths from the front, and Borrowing Base remains sixth and last. The mile went in 1:41. And there's a half mile to the finish line, and Nightlight continues to lead. The lead is 3/4 of a length. Precursor moves up a bit on the outside, but Nightlight maintains the lead over Precursor. Tiger's Rock is third. Giant Chieftain is now on the move from fourth as the field comes for the top of the stretch with Nightlight. Tiger's Rock now moves into second. Giant Chieftain takes third. Precursor is dropped out of it. Borrowing Base towards the rail. It's Tiger's Rock on the outside of Nightlight. Tiger's Rock and Nightlight, nothing between them at the 8th pole. Tiger's Rock puts ahead in front. Nightlight battles on at the rail. Giant Chieftain is third. Tiger's Rock in front now by a length. Nightlight second. Tiger's Rock wins it. Nightlight was second and Giant Chieftain third.
A race that was once actually named for, of course, one of the superstars of the extended route division, Coyote Lakes. This race was once a prep for the Gallant Fox, and now it follows the Gallant Fox, and the Exacta ends up being a repeat of the Gallant Fox. Last time out, Tiger's Rock in his dirt debut upset Nightlight, and the bettors still didn't figure it out as Tiger's Rock goes off as the second choice in the wagering to score from his stablemate Nightlight. Once again, he's able to catch his rival and stablemate. Giant Chieftain rounds out the top 3. The winner, Tiger's Rock, is a bay son of Giant's Causeway from Call Me Fleet by a Fleet, bred in Kentucky by Del Ridge Farm and owned by Starlight Partners, trained by Todd Pletcher and ridden to victory by David Cohen. Tiger's Rock covers the 1 mile and 5 furlongs in 2:45.07. That'll wrap up this edition of Horses and Courses. Thank you for joining us this week. We hope you've enjoyed the program and will be able to join us again next week as we take a look at great stakes racing action from around the country. Until then, I'm Jean Wood. Have a great week at the races.